and Pay Safeguard.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL One Hamburg, powered by Intel. We are here in our Vodafone pre-show as we get ready to walk into our second map of the day. It is going to be Forward Gaming facing off against Team Aster. A little bit of a grudge match here between the two sides. Lacoste, Basecamp, how you two doing?
Yeah, doing well. Looking forward to some Team Aster Dota.
Yeah, even though Team Aster is already guaranteed the top spot, I just want to see them play. Like what they have in mind, have prepared. Probably not gonna show too much. Just gonna play some regular Dota, but it's a good practice for them. For Forward Gaming, though, they're definitely through as well. But it just depends on the seed, which seed they're gonna get.
Yeah, so they could be third, in which case they play Pain, or they could end up fourth, in which case they'll play EG, since Group A is already all wrapped up.
Well, and more so than just even like playing for one particular seeding or the other, you want to go into the tournament and go into the playoffs specifically with like, you know, some momentum coming into it. If they could finish it out undefeated, that's where it's at. That'd be the best for them, I would say, for Team Aster. And of course, Forward Gaming looking to build upon the success that they've already shown. So not a whole lot on the line except for pride and that sort of momentum type of feeling that we got going for us. But yeah, kind of an interesting dynamic to me in this one, because to me, Team Aster has felt like it's been XXS show more often than not. And then for Forward Gaming, it always comes down to resolution.
Yeah, resolution has been the backbone of this team. Always stable. You can rely on him early game, mid game, and especially late game. He's not going to throw a game. His positioning in team fights is always splendid. And if you leave him a free farm, Universe creates a lot of space for this team. This guy is always going to deliver.
Yeah. The one thing I do worry about a little bit is that Forward do tend to pick resolutions here pretty early into the draft. Like they've opened drafts with Ogre TB, and that's where they could be a little bit vulnerable to Team Aster coming in with the counter picks. Because I think while that could work, maybe against, I was looking at the results, and they've only beaten the teams below them. So they toured Evos, they took 1-1 against Complexity, 1-1 against NIP, lost to VP. So no surprise upsets or anything there, and I feel like Aster, just the caliber of team there, I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with doing that. So maybe they need to find some kind of a mix-up, you know, pick an open-ended hero at the beginning of the draft, and then throw that mid or something and give resolution. Like we saw the Clinks pick come out the other day. Something like that could work out really well, where they get a swap up and get resolution still on that game-winning hero.
I think part of that was because of the Huskar pick too, which is a little bit of a like aberration, but yeah, definitely. And I think that like the other alternative to that would be, okay, let's try and see if we can run this Ogre Terrorblade again and see if anybody has an answer to it. Yeah. And then at least we sort of know, or we can test ourselves, and maybe they could force out a Terrorblade first phase ban, and suddenly they're going into the playoffs looking amazing. So that's something to watch for, definitely. And if they are able to beat Aster here, it would definitely put their name on the map, considering how dominant this team has looked. I do kind of wonder if this is going to be one of those situations like at TI where there's one group that was like heavily imbalanced into the favor of the other. Do you think either one of these groups was significantly stronger, having seen all of the group stage now?
I think we discussed on the first day that Group B looks better. Or did you say Group A?
Don't remember, to be honest.
I mean, what about now, though, after having seen it all?
Now, they seem pretty balanced, in my opinion. You have even these two bottom teams, Evos, Mineski Alliance, and it's going to be either Complexity or NIP, which teams probably expected them to be here.
Yeah. I think Group A, on paper, should have been stronger, but not the way that it worked out. And that's mostly just because Mineski, like, as a huge KP fan here, I even have to say that, like,
I think I said Group A is stronger. Yeah, I was expecting more out of Mineski.
Yeah, and then I think that would have made it look like Group A was much stronger overall. But at the top, I don't think there's that much of a gap between these two groups. Like, I don't think Aster VP is significantly stronger or weaker than Vici Secret.
Every single game, Wisp banned out.
Yep, or picked. And I think he has like a 50% win rate, pretty much. So, not amazing, not bad.
So who do you leave in now? I think you probably want to take out the tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, Universe is really, really good at that hero. So.
Like, of the tier 1 picks, that's the one you don't want to give to forward. Because you're going to have to give something away. And they're going to be the second pick, so likely get 2 top-tier heroes here.
So Necro getting banned. Forward, they've liked the Axe at least a little bit, right, in this event. So could be looking towards that for themselves here.
I think you ban the Mirana and then try and get the Phoenix if you're Aster.
10 seconds remaining.
Do they want to? Are they at all worried about this like first pick Terrorblade, or do they want to break up the Ogre TB combo at all? I think is maybe the other question here for them.
Yeah, and I think that if you do let the Phoenix through, that they'd probably be comfortable taking the Phoenix into the Terrorblade with the Ogre. They're going to ban out the Axe.
I like that Axe ban because I think the Necro ban reads that you're trying to pick Axe. So I think that's good. And then Phoenix gets removed. So the Mirana is still there. Ogre's still there. Bane's been popular. Wyvern's been popular.
I think they might just go with the Bane. Doesn't reveal anything. Also good setup for a Sunstrike. These stones if he wants to play an Invoker.
And Fenrir is just really solid on the hero.
5 seconds remaining.
I think it also Bane is kind of able to play a harder 5 than some of the other heroes that people are currently playing. So if they really want to give Baboka a lot of farm, which they have been doing, they've been giving him a lane to himself a lot of the time. I think having a hero like the Bane or even kind of the Ogre suits that pretty well.
And this fits.
Yeah.
You don't need to take out the Terrorblade, just take out the thing that enables him to have an amazing game.
I think TB's still good without Ogre, but I think part of the reason that Forward are willing to
phase.
first
The question
phase
is,
it, yeah.
do they want to first phase it?
10 seconds
Without the Ogre,
remaining.
yeah. I don't know.
And there's Team Aster with one more pick, and they could just get XXS Legion Commander if they feel like it.
Yeah, I don't think they take it now with the Ogre taken in.
So they could. I don't think they can do it.
I
Maybe
think
they
you-
just don't consider a Legion Commander as a counter to a TB.
I think you take Bane Mirana here. Or Undyne. Undyne is the other option.
I don't know if they want. I don't know if they want Resolution or Universe really on the Mirana. There's like a bit of a weird situation there.
That's a Yawar classic hero, but sadly for them, he's not here.
Yeah, I just think it's because they have the stand-in, they need Resolution on a really hard carry, but if they have Resolution on a really hard carry, then it feels like they need Universe on more of a space creation hero. So I feel like that kind of puts Mirana in a weird spot where she's not either one of those. She's not the hard carry for Resolution or the space creator for Universe. But
Just have Excalibur take it.
yeah, that could certainly work. That could be what happens here. Or we might even see Universe playing it, and then they're just going to pick like a Shaker or something here
5 seconds
in the second pick.
Give me the Bane. Or Undyne. I'm fine with either.
Oh yeah, we didn't see any Undyings, right?
Not yet.
There's been hardly any, yeah.
Aster keeps on banning it out.
Dire team pick.
Okay.
No, I like the Shaker here. I think they're forward or thinking along the same lines of like, well, this game we're not going to have Universe on the Axe or Tiny or anything like that, so we need to shore up the team fight and the initiation a little bit more from the position 4. Because I think that was part of the problem as well for Alliance in that previous series was that they had this CK as their position 3, and then the other 2 supports were just Rubik and Phoenix, who couldn't really start off fights either. And that probably contributed to how they felt so lost in that game, because they just didn't have a clear way to run around the map and do things that they wanted to. So
You just go in and you stun somebody.
Yeah.
You throw the stun out there.
yeah, so CK just trots up on his horse and just lobs the stun over in that direction.
It was so sad, too, because he had, like, the double bracer into drums, and he's starting to feel, like, really big and powerful, but maybe regretted that afterwards and delaying his blink dagger so much. Because if he has the blink, I think that probably solves the problem. But it is going to be the D-Stones Invoker.
Okay.
They felt like he's not gonna survive throughout the second banning stage. Just immediately pick. Like this is not what you see in other regions. First pick Invoker, pretty much.
No.
They used to first pick
They first
overall.
first overall pick.
They were doing that a lot.
They were doing that a little
In
bit.
the,
Was that in the qualifiers for the major?
Qualifies for the major, yeah, and then also in I want to say there might have been a game in the group stages where they did it too. The ones that was off our stream. I could be wrong about that.
Maybe. They were definitely doing it for the like grand unveiling of the team.
Yeah.
At the major, pretty much. So, okay, now we get the Brood Mama band. They're gonna have to do some work to sort of set up this Invoker. We did see what can happen if, like, in that one game where Invoker got shoved to the side lane and then he was up against the Morphling at the beginning, and Morphling had like 40 last hits and 30 denies, and Invoker had 3 CS, and he was level 2, cowering in the fog, like just hoping to soak a bit of experience. Well, I still won that game, so there you go. D-Stone's Invoker, he's a comeback player. But yeah, that was not what they want. They definitely want D-Stones to get off to a decent start in this game. They've got some pretty big buffs for whatever carry hero they pick up. They've got Alacrity and they've got the Bloodlust at this point, so you could definitely see some pretty big action coming in there. I mean, they could take the Terrorblade
They only lack
themselves,
Magnus.
Right? Yeah.
Just buff one hero, play around him.
Yeah. Magnus and Omni Knight.
Yeah, I think
Why not?
Morph is going to be contested in this game.
10 seconds.
Rezo's one of the best heroes, and it's
5 seconds remaining.
Invoker kind of counters the Morphling if he goes for Quasvex build with Spirit Vessel.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I didn't see too much out of these stones. Does he tend to go for that kind of a build or not?
He does everything.
Yeah, I think he buys the urn pretty often. So
I've
if he's
seen
up
him-
against the Morphling, I think he will get the Vessel. Aster's one of those teams where I see them picking the Invoker against the Necrophos and the Morphling quite a bit because they want that fast Vessel.
I've seen him do both Quas-Wex, Exort, and then I've also seen some where he just goes like even the Wexort through the first. I think even past the normal levels that we see it, where he was like just keeping on going, and then I think that was with like a Void though, and then they just went maximum damage, which they could think about going for. I don't think Faceless Void is terrible right now in this patch, and having the buffs on him with like Bloodlust and stuff, it's something that could work.
Yep.
Faceless Void is terrible. You don't see Faceless Void at all, man.
Dude, they ran it this morning.
Who did?
Ice. He played it.
Yeah, they're out of the tournament
They got
with
2-0.
2-8 score.
Pretty
So-
sure that's Fnatic, homie. It was in King's Cup, Southeast Asia.
Oh, right. Ice isn't on Mineski anymore.
Did they win?
Yeah, they won.
Okay, nice.
They beat Clutch Gamers, so
There's
I
a
don't
reason
know.
why Hero is not picked. He doesn't provide you anything at the laning stage. Still waiting for some kind of a 4 or 5 Faceless Void.
Don't let Jackie Mack hear you. He'll do it. I mean, he's already done it, but he'll do it again. Okay, man. Forward are really taking a lot of time on this ban, huh?
Did somebody disconnect? What in the heck? No,
Nope.
they're all here.
All right, they get rid of the Monkey King. Are they going to take the Terrorblade now? The carry pool is starting to get a little bit restricted at this stage. We got TB left. We still have... There's some other tier 1 carry that I'm... But there's the Morphling that you were talking about earlier, Lacoste. That's also still in the pool.
I don't know. I feel like Terrorblade against Invoker is pretty rough, isn't it?
Well, it depends on which stage of the game. Once Terrorblade gets a BKB, he's really not
5
threatened.
seconds remaining.
Threatened by Invoker. Monkey King band. That's maybe they're trying to take a matchup. I mean, they still have an Invoker, but Monkey King, Team Aster, I think they ran it against Complexity, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. I think that
Yes, yeah, because they were running it versus the Complexity Terrorblade. It was Sylar Monkey King versus Sekemberlu TB. Okay, Forward Gaming just going to come up with the Winter Wyvern, synergy with the Mirana, setup for the Shaker, more team fight. They don't really need to have too much team fight coming from their core roles at this point. I think the supports kind of have it covered. The cores need to be more about the laning strength more than anything, I think, at this stage.
Yeah, they have a lot of control, a lot of damage overall. Team fight.
maybe they
very
want to go
good.
Bloodseeker, and then you can like just sort of have consistent high damage in that mid lane and zone out the Invoker. You're going to have really good harassment with Wyvern and Marana Shaker.
Could be an option. I mean, other things versus the Invoker. What, the TA is still in the pool. There's still a DK in the pool as well. I think it looks all right for either, probably more for forward than for Aster. It's like an okay matchup versus the Invoker at the beginning. You've just got so much damage with the QB and you don't really get harassed out. Could be something for them to look at here. And now Rubik picked. Okay. So is this Baboka Rubik?
10 seconds remaining.
Seems likely.
Some good spells to steal. If you
Fenrir
steal
can
Splinter
play
Blast, you can just
5 seconds remaining.
split push as much as possible. You kill the whole creep wave with just 2 spells.
Yep. And they're going to have some... Like, the Rubik is not the most amazing setup for Sunstrike, but it's kind of good enough. They've got no reserve time left. This is their very last second of reserve time. And they do just take the TB. So... I guess now we see whether or not Aster consider the Legion to be a big counter.
I think that's why Forward Gaming was thinking so much about the third pick, Winter Wyvern. It was a pick before Terrorblade, so they can kind of block the Legion Commander pick.
Yeah, preemptively countering the Legion.
10 seconds.
The other one that we've seen teams go with is a Centaur, and I think it's really good with Rubik. Lift into Stomp, Double Edge in the laning stage, hard to deal with.
Give me Core Jakiro, Aster. Let's do it. That's all. It's a nightmare for Terrorblade to play against, actually, in lane. I'm picturing Jakiro, Dual Breath, Liquid Fire, Rubik's up there, Fade bolting you. I don't know what the hell Terrorblade does. But that's more of an old complexity thing than anything.
Radiant team back.
Oh!
There it is.
Ayo.
Okay. So that's probably the Sylar hero, right? We're still looking for XXS.
I mean, it depends. They don't have last pick.
No, I want to see this on the safe lane, I think. I don't think it's going to do anything off lane, really.
10 seconds.
Or I think they want something that's going to put more pressure onto the Terrorblade than a Void.
5 seconds.
They have gone pretty greedy with these last 2 picks, right? Rubik's kind of a greedy support, Void kind of a greedy core.
Team back.
Also Void into Winter Wyvern. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, even the Shaker is annoying as well, right? You can just Fissure into your Chronosphere
And also,
make
they
your
don't
life
have any
hard.
big spells to throw into Chrono besides Invoker. Ogre,
Dude, he's
Rubik.
got like 20 spells. What are you talking about? He's fine.
I'm saying that there's only one hero who does stuff in
Yeah.
Chronosphere, and that's Invoker.
The one thing that I was thinking about, though, more and more often has been this mana drain against Terrorblade. And I think if you just Chrono him now, late game, you're not going to be able to Sunder. Could become an issue. Got the EMP there afterwards from Invoker, drain all that mana.
Yeah. Okay, so forward gaming. Just going to be the Templar Assassin banned out. I guess we're still looking for the...
I think they need a
Mid-hero?
playmaking 3. Faces
For Aster,
Void
yeah, 100%.
is pretty slow, so they need something to speed them up. Also, Invoker doesn't come online that fast. They have a couple of stuns to throw into Sunstrike.
10
They can pick like the Brew in this spot, right?
Radiant team pick.
Ooh. Okay.
Offlane
Offlane
Invoker.
Zeus?
Offlane Invoker? You don't think?
Why?
Because they did it before when
I
they
guess.
had a bad matchup.
I think it's just a counter to a Terrorblade, so it still might be a mid Invoker and just put Zeus on the offlane.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Zeus Ogre and then
5 seconds
Void
remaining.
Rubik safe lane. and
Yeah, you
Invoker
want to
mid.
have one defensive kind of a lane and the Ogre pretty much a better overall hero than Rubik, in my opinion. Puts a lot more in the laning stage, pressures the lane. I love the Centaur. He builds into Crimson Guard and the Hood as well. Hood is going to be such a big deal in this game. And also kind of closes the gap against Invoker and Zeus so they can get on top of them. I like forward gaming lineup. I think Team Aster is going to lose their first match in ESL One Hamburg.
Oh my goodness. The bold calls coming in. Basecamp, you agree?
I think I'm still going to go with Aster. I just think that even though the lineup is a little bit greedy, I think they're still going to be able to make it work. And I'm expecting D-Stones to do pretty well on this mid lane versus the Mirana. So I think the Invoker, even though their lineup is kind of greedy, can still kind of carry them through.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see who it is that's going to be coming out on top. But of course, we got to figure out who it is that's going to be the MVP of the tournament. Make sure that you vote online. It's an important thing. Man, those players look intense. They're staring into my soul right now. I feel like I've been sundered. You know who might not be sundered this game? Well, actually, they probably
Zeus,
will be.
I don't know.
Maybe Void. Maybe he gets sundered and then he time walks.
Ooh, the next level play. Yeah, I'm excited to see this though because it's Faceless Void. We haven't seen a lot of it nowadays.
Maybe for good reason.
Probably for good reason. We did see a couple of them, like I was talking about in King's Cup this morning. That's what I was doing when I was queuing for my game. It took forever to find it, but I was watching a little bit of that. And it looked good. They won. I don't know necessarily if this is going to be as effective. Lacoste, you're saying it's mainly just the Invoker. It sort of gets solved a little bit now because they picked up a Zeus.
There's some extra damage also that's going to give them a lot of vision. Maybe cancel some Blink Daggers and 2 Initiators, Centaur and Earthshaker. So the vision game should be strong for them. But once Faceless Void hits level 6, Zeus 6, plus a Sunstrike, whenever he places a Chrono, that should be a secured kill.
I actually quite like this Zeus pick for Aster because the one thing about Faceless Void as a hero is that he doesn't really want to be on the front lines, and Aster don't really have much of a frontliner, but the reason a lot of the time that you want a frontline hero is so that you can get the vision over the enemy team. But I think Aster, in this kind of situation, what they're going to be able to do is they could even be smoked up and then they kind of have the Ogre in front, and if the smoke breaks, they just pop Zeus ulti, and that'll give Void all the vision that he needs to be able to find the right chrono positioning. Because I think otherwise Aster are going to be in a bit of trouble with actually how they structure and start these team fights. Because even if Void has like a Shadow Blade, he can't just go running around blindly up hills and things like that into all of these stuns from forward.
I'm trying right now desperately to figure out how many games of Invoker D-Stones has. He has Master Tier of it, which means that he's played a lot of games even since Dota Plus has come out. But yeah, it's a good bit of him.
Yeah, he's level 24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
okay.
budget Sumia, definitely. Like you can't beat this guy. Let me just.
Is
go.
Sumia a pro player?
I don't think so.
Well, he did end up throwing out that Sunstrike. I think he spotted a couple of little dealies in there as well. But will be interesting to see the dynamic of Mirana versus Invoker mid. Obviously, if D-Stones continues to go for the XOR build, he's going to be having a pretty big last hitting advantage.
I found him. Sumia has over 8,000 matches of Invoker.
What in God's name?
Everyone else is budget Sumia when you play Invoker.
How many Sanking games did that pirate guy have? What else we got? There's a few of these hero spammers around.
Just as I envisaged.
I couldn't find his real profile, but 27 in esports games, pro games, with a 62% win rate, and then the next highest is 16 for Death Prophet.
Let's focus on the relevant stats. Sanking,
Okay.
3.5K games, 3.5K games on Sanking by Pirate.
Mr. Pirate.
He hasn't played in 4 months. Dang.
Because Sand King is bad.
Waiting for some buffs.
Just saw that change. Caustic Finale nerfed again?
Yeah.
I'm out.
I can't one-shot Phantom Lancer anymore. That was always so much fun when the Burrow applying Caustic from the Ags worked on... Is it Snith on
Yeah, it
Chen?
is.
Yeah, we're still Googling all of the hero spammers.
I remember that there was one that was like a Lina spammer.
5.3k.
5.3K.
There was a Lina spammer that had something like I ran into. She had like 1,000 games, which isn't that much. But the next highest was like 4 games on like one other hero. It was literally all that she ever played. I feel like there's probably some other weird hero spammers. What would be the one hero that you guys would spam if you only had to play one hero every day?
Rubik.
Jeez, you guys are quick.
I mean, I have over 1,000 games of Pudge from Dota 2, plus probably the same amount from
I might
Dota
spam
1.
the new Morphling. Oh, there's this guy as well. Fred J plays Weaver. He has over 6,000 games of Weaver. 6,100 games of Weaver. He's probably reveling in it at the moment.
And the game is unpaused.
We just saw a little bit of a sunstrike there onto Mirana while she was sitting up on the high ground.
Ogre was kind of forced to buy a lot of items since Rubik is going to be position 4. He bought boots. We see Invoker with 2 shared tangos and Zeus as well with 2 shared tangos, which means that Ogre does not have a stout shield. So they can actually harass him. It just feels like you can't do damage. He still has high HP region, 6 with 1 mango and 8 armor level 1.
Yeah, I mean, he's still going to be fine here. Fenrir is going to... He'll take more damage, but...
So forward are dodging the TB away from the Zeus. They're putting the Terrorblade in the off lane. And they're just going to give him the creep block from MSS. All right, I like this.
This was the... I remember this creep block when you could do the pull to the camp. That was the best.
God. Yeah, they've slowly removed all of that nonsense.
What about Pudge hooking creeps into mid lane as well?
Oh yeah, that was also fun.
Yeah, great times. The toss.
What about
as well.
Rubik with the Ancients? Lifting the Ancients out of the camp and...
What about Necro Ancients with Aura?
No. That's a completely different thing.
Also amazing, though. Equally great.
Yeah.
Well, it is Zeus versus the Centaur now, and you don't want to be walking any of these heroes the long way around to get a different matchup.
I mean, this is part of the reason why I think people also like playing the Bane so much, because Bane completely shuts this down. The position 4 hero stealing the creep wave. Because if you Nightmare, then they drop aggro completely. So, otherwise, this is not... I don't think this is like... It's not a bad lane for forward, but this is also just a really easy way for Resolution to get CS. Just keep dragging it in between the tier 1 and tier 2. Look, MSS is, I think, going for it again.
It's ready to go. Although TB is not getting every single one of those last hits, unfortunately. He did get hit by the Fade Bolt, lowers his damage a lot.
Strike. He solo
My
kills
boy
him.
D-Stone.
He's level 3. What?
D-Stones.
All right, these kills are... I was completely wrong about Ogre being able to survive without a stout shield, but I don't know how D-Stones does that mid against the freaking Excalibur. Just got worked.
D-Stones is good.
Oh, Mirana doesn't have an arrow. Maybe that's one of the reasons you can go for different kind of a build, which is pretty normal, just a sacred arrow, and you secure the range creep just right away. Just kill him, and then you have creep advantage.
Yeah.
D-Stones is working him on the CS as well. Look at this, 8 and 7 versus 4 and 0. I know Mirana's base damage is not great, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty substantial advantage. 64 just base for D-Stones, and he ends up getting that plus, was it 38 with 2 points in Exort? 26. It's pretty rough. I mean, also, and then the kill now, too. It's like, I don't think he can really stay in this lane. Oh my god, D-Stones finding Excalibur. He hit him on the leap. Although he is still in some trouble. And
Mango.
Trying to find the kill. Is he going to get him in time? Yes, they do.
Easy. This is the rotation you would not expect from MSS right away, because you have an off-lane Terrorblade. You don't want to leave him alone.
Yeah.
But Baboka was pooling, so no threat whatsoever on TB.
That rotation's only possible because D-Stones is playing so aggressively, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other way that they get that.
Well, and you got to be so mad, too. You hit the Sunstrike on the leap, and you still don't manage to... You end up being the one that dies. Looks like, I'm sure, a very frustrating moment there as Fenrir is just going to get ran at. Has 10 stick charges, though, and another tango, so should be fine. But this is the problem. Consistent
Zeus.
harassment coming from SVG and Universe.
What's that about?
Oh, something good. Oh, good decision to leap back that way. It's been burned one too many times.
Oh, they're wrapping around. Invoker on mid, double damage. Wyvern has ulti. By ulti, I mean Arctic Burn.
Almost getting him. They do catch him. D-Stones, Ice Wall down. Does he get any help? Cold Snap might be able to get a return kill here. Looks like Bobica is going to be the one that wins because of that. And now pushing in for more Fenrirs in the area as well.
Tri-lane versus tri-lane on mid. Both supports rotating in from both sides. But
Sunstrike? Not going to be there.
Runes in 10 seconds. Winter Wyvern. It would be a huge deal if he can grab this one. Zeus has a bottle.
Oh, nice play there by XXS, and is going to be able to make his move down towards the bottom one. But already there is the Earthshaker, and now in no man's land, Aster Dota
They're
in
gonna
some
get
trouble.
Ogre as well.
Find that kill on the Wyvern, but it comes at the cost of their Ogre, as he is going to get pummeled. MSS getting a double kill at 5 minutes.
Oh, he's gonna deward this as well. Pretty big. He has 800 gold on Earthshaker.
Jeez.
he's got a bunch of observer wards as well. Interested to see where he plants those. That's a bit of a...
Well, I guess if they
Weird
pressure
spot.
Invoker, that's where he's gonna fall to.
Maybe. Or he's going to go back to the other side of the jungle, right? He's going to go...
I think we've seen
north.
D-Stones tend to play around that side, though, in particular. Like, now that they see him moving over here with the wards, they probably will get out, although they managed to find one of the D-wards. But I think there were a couple of different games where we saw him run up there, hit the shrine, and play it really greedy.
Oh, Boboka. Very close. He got the first D ward at mid and then almost got the second right away, but not quite.
Haste?
I feel like this early game is going quite well for Aster, though. Like, they've picked this pretty greedy lineup, and it's not really coming back to bite them too badly. We'll still have to see how things go through the mid game, and the Terrorblade is farming well, but...
Oh, Haste Rubik coming top. They have Chrono ready. Bottom lane.
Still looking for that kill on Defender. Not going to quite get it, though. It looks like they are just going to back out yet again. Yeah, I think the only thing I'd be concerned about is how much MSS is getting. He feels to me like he could be an X factor in this game.
Oh, for sure. He already has some Arcane Boots picked up. Always interesting to see that there's still some variety in the Earthshaker builds, people going either the Tranquil Soaring. I think this game he's mostly getting the Arcane Boots because he's got the Centaur in his team who needs the mana. The TB also doesn't mind having a little bit of extra mana, and they're playing against an Invoker, so important to have it against the EMP mana burn.
Either you go Tranquil into Soul Ring or just Mana Boots straight into Blink. If you have a Crystal Maiden in your team or you're not doing well and have a lot of gold after a certain team fight, you just have brown boots and get a blink dagger and then upgrade after. Plus on level 10 you can get 250 mana, so you're fine with that. Zeus not level 6 yet. I love what Rezo's doing, just going back to jungle since Faceless Void got level 6.
Yeah, and this would normally be the time when you would see Resolution move and try and make a kill, but you can't really do that so much with Terrorblades. Just keep farming up and then make a play around, you know, maybe Excalibur being stronger. He's level 6 right now. You could maybe go for Moonlight Shadow at some point, bring some heroes in.
This game's ended up being very similar to what I was kind of talking about at the beginning of the draft, right? They went for the... They picked the carry hero early on, but then saved it for the mix-up to pick the TB later in the draft, and they've still got Universe on this kind of hard initiation hero. So I think Resolution's just going to be farming for like the next 20 minutes.
Oh, Faceless Void deeping on tier 2.
Also have XXS caught down bottom. Gonna be able to almost find that kill. Is he actually getting away? They bring in Sylar. And the Sunstrike can't hit them all. Getting vision.
No damage.
God. They did manage to get the D ward off of that, but
Dyer's bottom
that one
tower
All right.
is under
Less than ideal.
2 very awkward escapes.
Fissure? Chase forward for more. Universe, Hoof Stomp, Double Edge. Are they going to kill him off in time? No, Sylar jumps. And there's the Chrono.
Where's the follow-up damage?
Having revealed themselves, they need the Bloodlust. It is going to be enough. They're losing Sylar. Oh, no.
That's
How
a good
many
trade for
bears?
forward gaming.
Yeah, especially with the Chrono used.
You can see how Team Aster plays. They, most of the time, rotate Baboka on the side lane when there's no one, so he gets a lot of XP and gold. He's kind of known to be a greedy player, so filling that hole in Team Aster.
And Aster now just kind of completely rotating the lanes. The Zeus is up top here now. Pretty standard build. Looks like he's going to be going for an Aether Lens into an Aghanim Scepter. Probably after that, I don't even know. Decent Veil game. Probably needs a Force Staff for a Yules to help out a little bit with the positioning.
And Thoroughblade is back at the lane, keeping the timing on Chronosphere. You can see that forward gaming didn't have a single hero on the top lane until Faceless Void decided to show up on the bottom.
Well, we do see the 10-minute Midas completed for the Invoker. And now the lift up as Universe is trying to try and make his mark. The push forward, Fire Blast, keeping him alive for the moment. And the Moonlight Shadow chase away pretty low HP, and they are going to find that
They're
kill.
going to find Zeus as well, no TP.
Radiant's bottom tower.
As Thunder God's Wrath available. Oh, just kills off SVG. Is able to save his ulti.
At least he got something.
T-Stones, Cold Snap, Ghost Walk, no dust.
Is under attack.
I don't really like this build from D-Stones that much. I think the Midas is a bit greedy.
Dire's top
And
tower
he's just playing the full Exort build. I was really expecting that he was going to go more for the more pointed Wex, more gank heavy. This makes him very, very reliant on like the Chrono to get kills, but I don't know if Sylar wants to be using the Chrono just to set up Sunstrike kills at this stage of the game. So Aster, not only have they gone for the greedy lineup, but they've also kind of doubled down on their greed with the item decisions.
I mean, you have an offlane Zeus, which means that you're not going to have an initiator, Ogre as well, Rubik, only level 5, so who's going to start the fight? The Faceless Void needs to be active. Faceless Void is a high level though, level 9, 1 point in time dilation. That spell is so hard to play against.
But couldn't the Invoker, if he'd gone for more points in Wex and gone for this more hybrid build, he could be the one helping to move around and set things up at the moment? Do you like the fact that he's just going for the sort of max greed this game?
Well, maybe they just want to play aggressive right now.
Yeah. This is
I
good
feel
for getting
like-
the Cataclysm faster, right? If you have the Midas, you're going to get those levels and you're going to get to level 20.
Yeah,
much
so
more quickly.
whenever you get, let's say, a 2-man Chrono, it's pretty much guaranteed 2 kills. But they might get run over. If they just fail to use a Chrono, TB has a meta, they're gonna take your towers.
I mean, the other thing, though, about this lineup is that they do have really good wave push against everything that, forward gaming is doing. So, if they do try and set up and, make the pressure happen, you can sort of stay pretty far back and sort of play it like the Winter Wyvern would normally with the Zeus, Arc Lightning, and just try and keep your towers alive long enough. And
Aster, on the other hand, they don't have great wave clear.
I think they do, don't they? Zeus and Rubik?
Dire are scanning.
You don't want to have Zeus standing on the lane, split pushing, same goes for Rubik, Void, none, Ogre, Magi also.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Zeus
Oh, arrow misses.
gonna end up dying, but the heavy commitment able to get that when they find him with both heroes. They were all over that Mirana. And as soon as they put the pressure on, they're able to catch her. Chase forward for more. That's going to be the Stampede as Rubik flies through the air after the Winter Wyvern. But that's the thing, right? Like, you stick Zeus in a lane, and even if he ends up dying, you're able to get a return kill afterwards.
Problem for forward gaming is that this Mirana is really underfarmed. Shaker almost has the same amount of farm.
Yeah, it's not looking great for Excalibur. A lot of these tier 1s are quite low, so if they can actually secure the last hits on those, then that's going to be some nice gold flowing in for him. But yeah, it's going to be tough for Excalibur this game.
Look at how big that Invoker is. Oh my goodness. All right, now he comes back down to earth a little bit. Has almost half of his Aghanim Scepter done here at 14-minute mark. Has just been kind of left alone, and Forward Gaming not able to take full advantage, although maybe with this Blink Dagger, that's what they're going to be able to do. Stones just drops the Meteor down onto the Ancient Camp.
Yeah, this is really the timing that Forward Gaming were waiting for. Have the Blink Dagger picked up, should hopefully be able to move around and make something happen. Still need to be wary. The instant lift from Rubik can be kind of scary for the Centaur to play against, but yeah, they're prowling for something. They might only get Boboka here, though.
They know that he is in the area, and he will not spot them on that ward as they move through it in the Moonlight Shadow, though he might have realized it now and can play really safe over in these trees, having Arctic Burn ready. And forward, again, looking for an opening, but not finding any. Everybody from Aster is playing safe, very far back.
Suspicious that nothing was happening at bottom, like Aster prodding forward there.
The big winner is Ogre getting the last hit on the tower. I'm surprised he's maxing Ignite. Like usually you would want to max either Fire Blast or just have more points in Bloodlust. But the only hero who can get something from a Bloodlust is a Faceless Void.
I think it speaks to what they want to do, though, which is just keep these laves pushed out, and it's one of the things that you can make happen.
Yeah, it's kind of an old school build as well.
It's not for fighting, definitely.
Max Ignite. So super annoying for the Centaur as well, just if he gets the Ignite thrown on him non-stop, it's going to keep canceling his Blink Dagger.
All right, well, Forward Gaming, again, going to try and get something done here. The tier 2 tower still holding for the moment.
Oh, multicast, Ignite.
And then they have to back out again, as Sylar thinking about chasing, but well, they are going to just retreat again. Bloodlust and the Mask of Madness. I mean, Void can fight if they need him to.
Yeah, Aster really not getting pressured that much. They've got a really nice little network of wards down in the Radiant jungle as well, so Zeus feels extremely safe to be down here. Whoever wants to come down here and farm is going to feel pretty confident. Of course, they have to be careful of a Moonlight Shadow or a Smoke Gank, but other than that, pretty free to stay down here. And XXS, to even bolster the split push power a little bit further, he's going to be going for a super fast Blink Dagger. So he's going to be even more difficult
because
to
they
lock
lack the split pushing power, so he's gonna go for a Blink Dagger so he can feel safe. Maybe even gonna go for Dual Scepter and then the Aghanim Scepter. I guess Team Aster is just waiting for Aghanim Scepter on Invoker. He has enough gold to buy it, and then they can make a move.
This is so, like, I feel like it's a clinic of how well they're playing this laning stage. Like, they know they can't do anything until that's up. They're playing entirely around D-Stone's timings. They're gonna lose the Ogre here. So, Caster Curse coming in yet again. But nonetheless, I think they've got pretty much everything that they need to fight. And even though it is a slight Forward Gaming lead, they've been able to take down most of the tier 1 towers. I think Aster are very happy.
Yeah, Ogre's by far the best person to tank the gank in that situation. Like, I don't think Aster are unhappy at all. They're keeping all the lanes shoved out. The Invoker is threatening bottom a little bit. XXS and Invoker changing places, since the Invoker can wants this farm a little bit more, but also applies more threat to the tower. The Zeus doesn't really threaten your tier 2.
All right, jumping in for the Rubik. There's the Fire Blast to interrupt it, but it will still be a kill. As looks like they might have to sacrifice Fenrir as well. Canceling the TP on the Invoker means that this is just going to have to be another sacrificial hero.
We saw only one chrono this game. MSS, TPing. Oof. Oh, what a tornado.
Catches them in the midst of it. The Deafening Blast, they can't quite find the kill. D-Stone's already getting one, and now thinking about taking another universe just drops. And now the Chrono on the other side, Cold Embrace, Keeping alive one as Sylar is still silenced for the moment. Need to jump away from this once it wears off. And goes back in now onto this Winter Wyvern who's stuck out of position and now flying through the air. The Rubik is going to be punched for the second, but they get the kill with the Sunstrike on SVG. Aster, get their items, get the kills.
Rubik not living long enough.
This is a huge deal for Aster. They managed to kill both Centaur and Earthshaker, and they're going to take the tier 2 tower on bottom. So that's boost of travel for Invoker.
2 solo kills.
Yep, and he's going for the double Forge Spirit talent as well. I like this quite a bit, this game, actually, because they need more physical damage. They've got the Zeus in the off lane, so Invoker kind of has to play more of a carry-ish right-clicking role as opposed to just lobbing out spells. And the problem with the Forge Spirits, you know, a lot of the time is that they can just kind of be hard to use in the fight, but when you've got the Chronosphere, it's going to be really easy for D-Stones to just sit there and auto-attack into the Chrono.
Everything working out right now for Aster, and Forward Gaming need to come up with some answers. What's the play for them at this point? How do you get back some of this lead that you had earlier?
They can go for ganks with the Earthshaker. They still got they got pretty good lockdown. They're probably going to play for a double BKB timing. Yeah, just like BKB on the Mirana, BKB on the Terrorblade, and then go. Because if this game drags on too long, I think they're going to be in trouble. SVG.
Yeah, he's just gone. Able to steal away the Arctic Burn again, the Rubik. And time after time, it's just these pickoffs happening. Terrorblade is still farming, 11,000 net worth on Resolution. Getting towards that BKB.
I don't think Forward wants to fight until they get BKBs on Mirana. Ideally, they would get the pipe on a Centaur as well, but Zeus is actually going for Aghanims, and he has it. So that's going to be really hard to start a fight and blink in. They still have a Centaur ulti to close the gap.
I'd like to see the two Aster, well, I mean, they're moving together as a whole team, but the two supports could easily just move together and find kills, because they can throw the Sunstrike and the Nimbus.
This is super dominant, man. Oh, God, and Sylar's going to walk up here. Who is he going to find? Anybody else? It's Resolution. Jump forward. Chronosphere just barely catching him on the edge, and that is going to be the Sunstrike kill.
They still want to fight?
Oh my God, they dropped the Nimbus right on top of the center. He's like, see you later, I want to be here. Oh, jeez. All right, maybe a chance here with Centaur in the area and Invoker not being nearby.
Oh, looks like they even spotted where Centaur was TPing from when they cast that Thunder God's Wrath. So they were looking for him in the trees there, but Universal managed to get away. Just blinked past.
Heads up play there by MSS to not get sniped. It was close. 22 minutes, 13-12, but it's been pretty great game so far over the past couple minutes for Aster.
So you were backing Forward Gaming out of the draft, Lacoste. What do you feel like, what's gone wrong for them here? Like, what's different from what you were expecting? The lanes?
No, I think the lanes did fine. It's just that they are so afraid of Faceless Void Chrono. Even at the early stages, no one was sitting atop. You can just throw a hero there, let's say a Winter Wyvern, bait a Chrono, and then just play, because Chrono is the tool to win a team fight for them.
Yep.
They were not messing around with that Invoker kill. They're like, this is the person we are going to kill right now. And they're trying to take down the Rubik. Invoker is dead for 40 seconds, actually. They can maybe get something done here. Terrorblade Metamorphosis going, trying to take down Excalibur, and Sylar looking for his opening. Chase forward, can't quite catch there. There's going to be the Sunder onto Sylar, trying to run away. Is he going to be able to survive? No. They take down the Faceless Void. He's dead for 50 as well. And with that, Forward Gaming pulled themselves back in a little bit.
That's also a buyback from Rubik, so that's totally worth it. They lose 2 supports for pretty much 2 cores and 1 support side of Aster. If Aster wants to risk a little bit right now, they could go into Roche Pit, just secure it. They know there's no Echo Slam, there's no meta.
I don't know why Sylar time walked in like that. That was Pretty
He wanted to
unnecessary
kill
Yeah, I know
the
he wanted
driver, yeah.
the Mirana kill, but
Mirana.
there was no way that he was getting it, and it just killed him.
Tough stuff.
I think a little bit of a misplay from him there. MSS also going for a BKB. Forward just realizing that they need all of these BKBs to have any chance in the team fights, especially against the Zeus. Not to mention the Invoker.
Oh.
They've got 2 of them now. They got the Excalibur BKB.
Unfortunately, it is also going to be... Oh, they ping it out. They realize that that Faceless Void is coming into the area, and they actually have vision of him. Sentry Ward laid down. They dropped the Zeus Nimbus and continuing to retreat around those Sentry Wards. And I think you might actually find a couple kills there if Sylar doesn't pick up the Invis, or the Illusion. But nonetheless, we'll still control this area of the map, get down some D wards, and Forward Gaming holding their own right now.
I don't think their late game looks very good, though. So like they've invested in buying these 2 BKBs, but if the 2 BKBs are not enough for them to feel confident in taking a fight, I don't know when things really get any better. Okay, yeah, they are hunting for something right now. Looks like Forward have the same kind of read.
They know Zeus just used ulti. Pretty smart of him. You don't want to use that ulti just for last hitting. No one was showing on the map. Runes coming out, so he just scouts it. The problem is, for Forward Gaming, you're playing against Zeus, so a lot of your vision is gonna get denied.
Yeah.
Radiant
Well,
are scanning.
the gank, round 2, Electric Boogaloo. Let's see if they can get it. BKB coming up for Void. He's going to walk into absolutely everybody. And sees there's a couple, jump away, can't quite get him in time. Chrono to run out of there. Sylar trying to escape. They bring in the Ogre as well. Winter's Curse, it's only on to him, and he's hanging out for the moment. No more Chrono Sphere, but he does end up getting stunned, and looks like they will kill off Sylar. Did not have his BKB, which was still a couple hundred gold away.
Dire's middle tower.
Expensive for Resolution to pop that BKB like that. Are they even going to get this tier 1 tower? Do they feel like they can?
The lane is near their tier 2 tower, which is dead, so...
Oh, that's true.
I mean, they can try to
They
force
can
it.
still backdoor it, but...
Looks like that's going to be the call. While this is happening, you do have Mirana pushing out the mid lane. And it looks like they'll back out now.
I don't like these kinds of lineups where you rely on one of your spells. Same goes for Magnus. If he doesn't land a good chrono, you lose a team fight.
Yo, D-Stone's just got level 20. It's Cataclysm time.
Yeah, it's going to be very scary with the Void. Especially always having the Zeus to potentially scout for him.
It does feel like Aster in pretty firm control of this game right now, and will continue to scale well. Although MSS looking for an opening here onto Bobica. Bobica does still have Sunder, I believe. Oh, I know it wore off, so won't have it. Arrow. Oh, that one is a little unfortunate, but they can't make any use of it anyways, so doesn't end up mattering.
That was a total whiff on that arrow, but sometimes just the position that you have your camera in makes it like a little bit confusing to land some of these. I think that's the same thing that happened with the D-Stone Sunstrike on SVG a little bit earlier. It's just like your cursor clicks weirdly on the terrain. But Forward takes them quite a long time to take out this bottom tower, but they're not committing everything to this. Like, it's just Excalibur and some illusions pushing it. Resolution's hitting jungle creeps, and Universe is now going to go show himself at mid. Not really too concerned. This tier 1 is not a huge objective, right? They don't need to overcommit to it.
I think the Aster is just giving up on this tower.
As they should, right? This is like one of the least
Deny?
useful towers in the whole game.
Thought the Forge Spirits were going to go for the deny.
Oh, Forward gotta be careful. If they want this fight, they're split up from their Terrorblade. He's over in the jungle.
Yeah, and they do have Sylar stalking, moving into position. They spot him right from the get-go. There's going to be the catch as well. The Tornado lifting up one. It's on the Mirana. Winter's Curse out as well, but they're already trying to force down and just kill off that. Well, Cataclysm coming through, not quite enough. Sylar still running away. Mask of Madness wears off and can go for a jump away if they want it. Looks like they're just going to end up losing SVG after MSS goes down, and Resolution, multicast, D-Stones need to run away. He's going to hide in the Ghost Walk there. They've already used Cataclysm, and Excalibur able to find the kill on the Ogre. A buyback from the Earthshaker, too.
It's so hard to fight into Aghanim Scepter, Zeus, and Invoker. Even though Faceless Void's not landing any good Chronos, it's a Chrono on a Centaur who already used all of his spells. Doesn't even get a kill on him. It's still so hard to fight.
They were lucky that Aster engaged on MSS as Universe found the Void, right? Otherwise he would, yeah. Like, otherwise they would have been big trouble. I think Void would just got bursted down.
There's a little lift up, Tornado, Meteor, Resolution.
Oh, BKB charge forced. Actually, does he need to be worried about getting pushed back into a Sunstrike there? He knows the Cataclysm is used. It might still actually be on cooldown, but I have no idea if anyone's keeping track of Cataclysm cooldown. Like, that's a little bit too much.
Uh-oh. Pull back in that Centaur. He's stuck for the moment, and they end up stealing Stampede, gonna chase him down after the fact.
Oh, that's a gem. This is huge.
From bad to worse, as Forward Gaming just lose everybody. And it's celebratory dust from Pobaka.
Let me get this dust out of my inventory. Wait a second, I have 2.
That is a very quick attack speed coming in from Mr. Sylar. Alacrity, Bloodlust, and it looks like it's going to be an Aegis in hand for Mr. Invoker, most likely.
Void's gonna pick it up.
Yeah, that means that he doesn't need to pop like a defensive Chrono anymore. Even if he gets caught out, still has the opportunity with the second life popping up with the BKB. So that's certainly nice. And he is kind of having to face check like high grounds and things this game, blindly running up with the Shadow Blade. So I think the Aegis helps him with that.
Yeah. Well, the continued spam of the Winter Wyvern here, but you also need to be wary of pretty much at any point now, if you have like Faceless Void plus, I think any hero, anybody on Forward Gaming is dead. Maybe not the Centaur, but the rest of them, it's going to be hurting.
I think even the Centaur with Cataclysm, he dies.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dying, they have found themselves MSS a little bit off the mark there, but they have found also the Winter Wyvern trying to chase, seeing if they can get the kill, almost taking down MSS, that Enchant Totem punch, but he does manage to escape, but Wyvern not so lucky.
Yeah. It's out 25 seconds to the Zeus ulti, so no chance to use that. Resolution is still #1 on net worth. He's got a Scotty finished, but just does still feel like a very difficult game for the Terrorblade to play right now.
That's why most of the time when people have Terrorblade, they ban out Zeus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gonna give it to D-Stones.
Dude, that Midas. Get that on a lower cooldown.
Arcane Rune's so sick on Zeus, though, but XXS gonna give it over to D-Stones instead. He was happy to keep on pushing out bottom.
The next big item for Forward is Aghanim Scepter on a Centaur, which is gonna mitigate a ton of the damage, especially in the Chronosphere and against the Cataclysm as well.
Yeah, certainly gonna be helpful.
Blink Dagger done for Rubik. A lot of mobility on this team Aster, as well as just high movement speed on everybody. The Rubik right now.
They give up. They don't want to kill Ogre at all. Zeus has no defensive items.
And Gonzo, just like that, that's a tier 2 tower. What else can Forward Gaming do with this? Maybe looking forward for the catch now onto Fenrir. Chant Totem to follow this one up. Resolution moves forward. The Echo Slam comes out, and that's a finish. Resolution pops the BKB. They also found D-Stones, and now the Hoof Stomp stolen from the Rubik, but this is 3 dead.
They need to buy back both Zeus and Invoker. Faceless Void doesn't have Chrono for 10 seconds. If they keep timing on that, just fall back now, Centaur. No,
Sylar? Oh my god, that was so close to death. And chasing forward for more here. Resolution needs to be careful about this Chronosphere that can come out. So he's going to jump forward, able to find it. The bash comes out as well. The hoof stomp able to connect onto two of them. Cataclysm follow-up. It's almost enough to kill off this Shaker as they try and chase him down. Still sitting pretty. Tornado chase forward, and there's going to be the Chrono connecting again. But they able to find the arrow now onto Sylar. Can he get it in time? They're controlling him with the multicast, trying to kill him off desperately. The Sunder doesn't come through. They manage to kill off this Terrorblade. And it looks like also SVG under control. It cost them a lot of buybacks.
That's 3 buybacks, and they can get nothing out from this. Centaur just picked up Aghanim Scepter. They need to push out the lanes. I'm not sure if they can get a tier 1 tower out from this. Okay, they can. There's no Winter Wyvern.
That was, I don't know, Sylar jumped in there and didn't have enough mana for the Chrono on the first life, so they just couldn't line up the Chrono plus Cataclysm. D-Stone's just waiting for it. He was like, okay, it's Chrono time, and no. So.
Oh, Universe, is he gonna get that gem back? Yes, he is.
Oh my goodness. But Tornado off the mark. They'll find the Cold Snap. He might pay for this one. Excalibur's in the area also. No more mana. Punches, punches, punches.
Rana has only 1 leap charge. If she had 2-3 leap charges, maybe she would decide to go in, try to pick up the gem, and just go back with the BKB.
No such luck.
Well, so much for taking that gem back.
Alacrity, Forge Spirit punching down the buildings.
4 runes for Aster. Pretty close game so far. Like, I don't think we had more than 3k net worth advantage.
No, definitely.
It's been very, very close.
And Forward Gaming showing there they can still win these team fights if Aster get a little bit too cavalier.
Definitely. I mean, that last fight was a little bit like 1 by 1 by 1. Aster not really having all of the tools that they needed. Just getting caught up by a really nice smoke gank from Forward Gaming. And now they might lose their shrines a little bit later on now that the tier 3 is being taken. So Forward pretty happy with that overall state of affairs. And lots of mobility coming up soon for Resolution. He's finished off the Hurricane Pike, and he's also going to be going for a Blink Dagger. Very important for him to be able to just get in on top of the Zeus and focus him down. Because like we said, there's no defensive items on Zeus just yet. He is going for an Aeon Disc, though.
Faceless Void also picked up Aghanim Scepter, so they want to fight. If Forward Gaming can get a pick off, all right. Another good scout from Zeus. They know Forward Gaming is smoked.
I love this decision to go for the Ags. I feel like people so often are like, I'm fluid, I need to carry. And it's just like, it's all about the Invoker this game. And it's all about Excalibur going down. Finding another kill here. Ogre dead. They buy back on Mirana.
But why?
Not sure that's worth it, because Faceless Void just bought an Aghanim, maybe he's not aware of it.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah, it could be the, oh, let's go because Chrono's on cooldown. But not really the case. Roshan can't even be up yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
They find the Winter Wyvern. Sunstrike, not quite on the mark. Sylar moving into position. They get the kill. I mean, Forward might not realize it, but Chrono is back up shortly. They should now, since they see the Faceless Void.
I just love
really
how that looks. Like, Rubik's making all these little plays and like doing all the damage to Wyvern, and then Void just runs up and just whomps him. It's like, it's the difference between playing support and carry.
Well, 37 minutes in. It's 24, or 23 rather, to 25. And everybody's picking up Aeon Discs. That was really the only way that we saw Forward Gaming win, was a couple of key pickoffs right at the start. If that doesn't happen, those last couple fights don't go Forward's way.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. Universe getting pretty high level, almost 21, so the extra hoof stomp duration going to be pretty useful. I can't imagine a world in which he gets the return aura. It's pretty, it's not a bad talent.
It's not a bad talent, but
yeah.
I've seen this talent work miracles against the Gyro's Flag Cannon.
Mm-hmm. It's great against Wind Ranger too. XXS, they're trying to initiate onto him. Need to be careful. Sylar with the play! Catching 3, they're all gone! Oh, no, no, no. And now XXS Success is going to TP away with the force staff from the low ground. He's left all alone. They're buying back on Hero. Sylar going to chase him down. D-Stone's Ice Wall down as well. And with no more BKB, this is a huge problem. Pops the Manta trying to jump away. He does manage to escape, but my God.
This is such a good chrono. Finally, he lands a 3-man chrono.
Oh no, Emphasis, get out!
Fenrir?
Fenrir should be okay here, I think. Yeah, he force staffs up. Oh, Fissure. Now the other force staff from the little Rubik. A little Terrorblade, I mean.
Bloodlust him as well.
I mean, he's hitting hard, right? Look at this guy.
Another chrono ready in 7 seconds.
Get him, Rubik.
Dun, 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 dun. Pulls him back in. Sylar, not going to go for it. Could have maybe looked for a bash there, but too dangerous.
Yeah, I wish Mirana had a buyback here right now.
That's always the danger, right? Like, with this type of a lineup, you can just win the game off of one Chrono Cataclysm.
For sure. They got... Yeah, they were super hungry for the Zeus and just got dragged through a really narrow choke point.
And it was one on every corner of the Chrono, it felt like. Don't worry, circles have corners.
Immortality.
So Faceless Void almost level 25. That's gonna be even better. So he might be the one buying a tome right now. I wouldn't be surprised. The Chronosphere AoE on top of Cataclysm. Just kidding, Ogre.
I mean, he's
the
going to give
one
it to him for sure, right?
getting it. I mean, Ogre's gonna get level 20 anyway. I would go for Bloodlust attack speed this game.
Oh, yeah.
Usually you want to get him to be as tanky as possible, but with Faceless Void, let's see. That's one greedy Ogre.
Unbelievable. 40 strength.
And he took the 40 strength. And then he eats the tome anyway. Oh my God.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Smoke up. Anticipating the movement. And it looks like Radiant going to hit on their scan now. As Aster looking for forward gaming. Very happy to fight at this point in the game, but does look like all of forward will escape. Wise to the shenanigans come in their direction. God, moving around at 543 movement speed right now, Sylar, when he's in that extra movement from Invis.
It just feels like Aster, the one's completely on the front foot, doing whatever they want.
Up on the high ground, they find themselves one, not using that Chronosphere as of yet, still looking for the opening, aren't going to be able to connect now onto that Winter Wyvern, but the hoof stomp there as well. That's the first life. Take down the Wyvern, no more Winter's Curse in this engagement. Arrow is going to connect now with the force staff to keep him alive. Radial Deafening Blast,
Nice.
MSS jumps in,
Slam
trying
was
to
the
get it.
follow-up.
Can they kill him off in time? They do. BKB and the jump away wasn't quick enough. D-Stone's also in a little bit of trouble, but he's going to be able to jump out of there. Now, with that Thunder God's Wrath, as well as the DOT coming in, they weren't quite able to find their kill.
Radiant's middle tower
They end up losing the Ogre and the Faceless Void.
Man, what a mistake from Sylar. He thinks that he just leaves Winter Wyvern to die, goes in, doesn't pop a BKB because you don't want to use a BKB before Aegis, and then they just blow him up. Nicely timed arrow by Mirana, and then MSS waiting. There's a force staff on Faceless Void with 2-man Echo Slam. They just delete them.
Yeah, that was very nicely done by forward, but also just a complete flub of a team fight by Sylar, right? I don't know if he needs to chrono the Wyvern like that. It's he was probably planning on being able to pop his BKB right as he came out of the Aegis respawn, but like you said, nicely timed arrow. So on the back foot again for a little bit. The perpetual problem for forward gaming being the fact that they need to use the meta both for the team fight and to push.
Oh, they found Rubik. That's a gem.
Take him down.
They have 2 gems now.
I think Resolution, I saw him just finish off a sheep stick also.
Oh. Well, that's not fun for the Void.
Blink sheep.
Yeah. Blink X the Void. Aster do not have that many defensive tools for him. Not that many force stabs or anything.
And if you can make use of that BKB, I mean, Resolution can still make something happen here. Along with, of course, the Earthshaker. But it does look like Invoker is going to be going for a Lincoln Sphere, so he'll already have that answer. On top of the Andisk, of course. So it looks like 43 minutes into this game now. Aster still the ones in control, but Forward Gaming coming up with answers.
They certainly are. It's just they're going to get level 25 on Terrorblade soon as well, so that's going to be pretty big. He's just cracked level 24. And a lot of it comes down to the initiation, this game. Like, Forward Gaming certainly have lots of ways to set up a team fight. That's the thing that we were praising them for all the way through the draft, is that this team fight and initiation strength. So just have to find those opportunities.
All right, Blink Hex done. Let's see it.
You can see Team Aster, they are kind of afraid right now.
Yeah.
They felt like they were in the driver's seat, but after that dunk, also mistake by Faceless Void, they don't want to play that aggressive.
The one issue as well is that they have to win a team fight in a super one-sided way to ever be able to push, right? Like, even if they win the team fight but the Void dies, then they can't really push buildings all that well.
Right.
They kind of have to keep both the Invoker and the Void alive through the fight, which, as we've seen, isn't always easy against this Forward Gaming lineup.
Sort of the same problem that you have with the Metamorphosis
Yeah.
coming out as well. But one of the things that can sort of solve that, at least on the Forward Gaming side, is getting into that Refresher Shard eventually. And they do also have a Refresher Orb done now for the Centaur.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a huge item. I've seen more and more Centaurs just picking it up, especially once you hit level 25 with the extra Hoof Stomp duration. You can basically stun them for almost 9 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Plus 2 ultis to mitigate the damage.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. I feel like Void maybe even needs the Refresher Shard or Refresher Orb at this point. They need that secondary Chrono, because the first one, I don't think it's going to kill anybody with the Stampede.
Centaur leading the way. Invis Void off to the side. Smoke breaks on both, and Centaur did spot out Sylar for a moment. Where is the vision? Looks like Forward not feeling comfortable walking up, considering they don't have any high ground vision in the area right now. So again, they back out. Top lane is going to push towards the Radiant side of the map pretty soon, it looks like. It's these catapults wear out, so this is eventually going to not have to be too big of a concern for Aster. They can still stay down here bottom and sort of protect this side of the map. Yeah, just a little bit of a square off for the moment.
I feel like no one wants to fight right now because Roche may respawn in around a minute. So if they lose a fight, they lose Roche if he spawns fast, and then you just lose a game because Refresher Shard is so much valuable in this game. Like Centaur, Sunder, Faceless Void, even Invoker.
Double BKB, man. That's where it's at.
There's a lot of good spells to use twice in this game.
Yeah. And now Zeus has the Blink Hex.
Exodus going to have to be careful about how he uses that, but he does have the Aether Lens, which is going to help out a little bit. Just trying to scout.
They also have a billion Force Staffs. Like, that's the other thing that's been cool. I feel like we've not been seeing as many Force Staffs being built nowadays.
Yeah, maybe not billion, but 2.
And
You know, when you're telling the story, yeah, I've drank 15 beers. Well, maybe not 15, but I got 2 definitely.
That's me, man. That's the play-by-play caster mantra. It was the biggest ulti of all time. It's like a Sunder.
The refraction.
Everyone's so close to 25.
Oh, hey. Look out now. Oh, good blink away. They find the Hex onto elsewhere. And Bobica now jumps out.
Boboker, what did he steal?
Reflection, man. That's where it's at. Oh, Winter's Curse, maybe a chance, maybe an opportunity, but they walk into vision and now in trouble, but the arrow gonna connect as well. Not often that you see Void caught in his own chrono and gonna get destroyed. Can they find anything more off the back of this? Void doesn't have a buyback.
And Roche just spawned. They don't have the vision. Sometimes in this kind of a scenario, you wanna send the chicken to the Roche pit if no one is using it. If there's no big items coming to you, so that's gonna be a shrine.
Bottom shrine
SVG is gonna scout it out. 70 seconds, no void, but Forward Gaming probably doesn't know that.
Throw out the Sunstrike. But in the meantime, the jump forward again. Have they found D-Stones? Can they get him with the Blink Hex? Coming into position, they managed to find him. Not bad at all. The Winter's Curse, a little bit off the mark there. Using the two together. Can they find the full combo stun, though? It looks like they might just indeed be able to do that. D-Stones gets a 4-step away, able to live, and now they've got Resolution caught in trouble. Can they kill him off in time? They end up going for the Cold Embrace from SVG. And it looks like they are going to be able to find that kill as MSS also hits the dust. Did he have Sunder?
He had Sunder, yeah.
Oh.
That's the thing about Winter Wyvern. Sometimes you deal more damage to your team if you don't use your spells properly.
Is that friendship damage?
Yeah, that's friendship and mental damage, definitely. So, Terrorblade bought back. Mirana has a buyback, does not want to commit to it.
Man, that was looking really good for Forward. I was just about to start talking about, Sylar messing up all these solo chronos on the Winter Wyvern. But it looks like he's just adding a handicap for his team, and D-Stones and XXS are still doing the heavy lifting.
And the thing that was crazy there, too, is like even little stuff. XXS breaking the blink so that way Centaur couldn't get in a position to like hoof stomp afterwards, and it was all in MSS at that point to try and control him.
I feel like they could have just went to Roche pit, secured all 3 items from Roche.
You know what else I bet? The status resistance from Aeon Disc. Not making that combo perfect.
That's true, yeah, because otherwise he wouldn't have gotten that deafening blast off. Very good point.
50 minutes in, 27-35.
So double Cataclysm on Invoker.
Oh God.
He has enough money to get a refresher as well if he wanted. Triple Cataclysm, boys. Jeez. But it's all for the Winter Wyvern in the Chronosphere.
Yeah.
There's one Winter Wyvern in the Chrono, and that's it. They need 6 Sunstrikes to kill him.
I mean, there's enough of those Cataclysms coming down if you're throwing 3 of them that it's going to hit something probably. Maybe it's just farming, but it's going to be beautiful. And level 25 on Void?
How do you even have more than 2 Cataclysms? Like it's just another Cataclysm. Like it's Cataclysms already happening. Like you can't have more of those.
Right. It's
like no matter what happens, if it starts raining, meteor shower, it's still one Cataclysm.
Right.
It's true. It's like nukes. That's what it is. You can throw a ton of nukes. That's a Cataclysm.
But I think Lacoste's argument is that if it's already cataclysming, can you have more
so your problem is with the
There's
syntax.
nothing that can happen.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
That there's more Cataclysms.
Like a cataclysm seems like it should be a singular event. So how do you just have 3 of them back to back?
Cataclysmi. It's something.
I'm not a linguist, so I can't argue with you.
We did see the Aghanim Scepter completed for Mr. Rubik.
Okay, nice. Steal...
Stampede?
If you steal Enchant Totem, do you get the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get to jump around.
Ooh, Spell Amp for stolen spells, too.
Okay. Steal the Arctic Burn. Let's go. Wait, does it amp the Arctic Burn percentage as well? Do you just slay people?
Hypothetically. All right, well, they get 1, but he is stampeded in here and not taking all that much damage. Cold Embrace also keeping him alive. Deafening Blast. There's going to be the turn on Winter's Curse. The second Cataclysm hitting literally nothing. And it looks like the Centaur is going to be able to walk away after he comes back. The buyback resolution jumps forward. Sylar trying to escape. They're taking down Fender, but they managed to kill off the Mirana nonetheless. Winter Wyvern living for now as they chase forward 4 more. Sylar can get the jump away yet again as he tries to chase down and kill off 1. It is going to be the Centaur dead a second time. Actually kills himself on the return as they chase Resolution, but it looks like Resolution can walk away, still living for the moment as they find the Hex onto the Faceless Void. He is also in some trouble, but they realize they need to blink out of there.
Mirana just bought back.
Can Mirana escape from this one? It's a dangerous one. Oh God, that was close. But she gets out. So final tally ends up being a lot of heroes dead and 2 buybacks.
They used Refresher Shard, they used, I think, 1 cheese
Radiant's middle tower
Aegis.
and Aegis. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes to show that they still have to win a team fight really hard to be able to break base.
10,000 gold on Zeus. 11,000 gold on Zeus, sorry.
Let's get some Necros.
He needs a refresher.
Yeah, it needs a
or-
refresher and an
and
Octarine.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's
Tier 2 tower goes down. And there's the refresher.
Only 7,000 gold left on Zeus.
Man, I feel like we've been seeing the value of like the status resistance Aeon discs against these like maximum combo drafts.
It's something you don't think of.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't. I don't know. It seems like me and Forward Gaming are not thinking about it.
Yeah, I think it messes with your timings.
Yeah.
Right? There's only...
Like you need to do math
Well,
Yeah.
in
there's
the middle
this,
of a fight.
there's the stun bar, right? But like if it's 2 of them simultaneously, it's like getting all of those perfectly means you don't get the full value out of your stomps. And
Yeah, you might get faked out by looking at the wrong stun bar.
Yeah.
Like he may have been looking at the longer, the one that was going more slowly in that previous chain stun. I don't even know if Shaker chain stun somebody with an Aeon disc, like with the status resistance, because his cast points are pretty long.
you should be able to somewhat. I mean, I can do some testing after this maybe.
Yeah, gonna take some figuring out. Because it just may not even be possible.
Yeah.
Because I know that like if you fisher somebody and then you enchant totem, the enchant totem hits.
It reduces
pretty
by
late.
0.375.
Do you know that Earthshaker
Yeah.
cast
Yeah, what's
points
his
off the top
cast?
of your head? I don't know what his cast points are off the top of my head. Getting set up again. Void with his chrono ready. And jump in, hoof stomp. They hop the BKBs. There's the chrono catching on to, well, a couple of different
Nice, Winter's
heroes.
Curse.
They're just going to be able to turn this back around. Sylar going to get the jump out of there after the fact. The Meteor landing now onto Resolution and Echo Slam onto 2. Can they kill him off in time? There's no follow-up damage here at all. They've already lost the Terror Blade. He's dead for 2 minutes. Universe trying to stampede and walk over these heroes, but in a Venn diagram of pain, he is eventually going to fall, it looks like. So too will MSS as he gets punched by Sylar. D-Stones, Aeon is proccing, running away from Mr. Universe, and now turning his sights onto SVG, chasing forward for more. They are
That's
all
a game.
controlled. They are all killed. D-Stones is godlike. Could it be anything else on his signature invoker?
It's so hard to fight into level 25 Faceless Void with Zeus Refresher. Like this Terror Blade just didn't have a game after 50
They're not
minutes,
even going to take a
45
single
even.
lane of racks. They're just going straight to the tier 4s.
Rubik goes and buys himself a Vlad's, just giving the damage over to his cores. And with the Nimbus down, soon to be dead SVG.
Can Ogre
Forward
tank this
gaming.
tower, please?
Going to potentially lose this one out. Oh, kill Sylar, got him. Just gonna punt back afterwards, and well, eventually they find the final kill. 5 dead, and GG finally called. Aster take game number 1, and Sylar's like, I'm taking the last hit. He can't finish it.
One of the closest games we had in this tournament so far, even though this game doesn't matter that much, only for seeding, but very entertaining. What, 40 minutes, only 3k gold advantage for one team, so no back and forth. Both teams looking great. Maybe, I would say, Forward Gaming crippled a little bit by not having Yavar. Yavar on
I
Mirana,
was going to say that as well.
that's
Yeah.
probably one of his better heroes.
I think that could have looked a little bit different. I'm also wondering if that's like is that a serious Team Aster draft? We're not saying that they were like clowning around necessarily, but at the same time, they're guaranteed first in their group. So maybe they're, like you were saying, they're not going to show anything new, right?
Yeah.
Nothing that they consider is, nothing that they think is serious that they really need for the main event. They're not going to pull it out now. They're going to kind of go for alt strategies and things like that.
But you also don't want to lose, even though you're
Yes.
on top of your
You
group.
want the perfect record.
Yes, exactly. You want to boost your morale. Pretty much, this is a new team, and they're looking great.
Yeah.
But I think Forward could have won this game if they just maybe put a little more pressure early on, and just show some of the weaknesses of Team Aster as well.
Yeah. I completely agree. But a really exciting game for sure. And Faceless Void Invoker, it's a good combination. Curious if we're going to see something similar in game number 2. Because guess what? We're not done, ladies and gents. There is one more game left in this series. And then we move on into the playoff bracket, which is going to be a best of 3. So stay tuned. More from ESL One Hamburg right after this.